Welcome to my thoughts on Young Woman in the Sea. And this film is about the first woman to swim across the English Channel. She did it a few hours shy of the top record of one of the previous men who did it. And it's a pretty impressive story about a woman named Trudy, I forget her last name, and how she went from being a really good swimmer in New York to being in the Olympics to, of course, doing the thing that she's famous for. And I can honestly say that I had never heard of this story before this film came out, which is, I think, the best thing you can say about a true life tale is if it actually teaches you something about the woman or person, people involved. And I think, it's a very inspirational story. It is PG. It is very much a family-friendly underdog story, and I think you, as a family, would like it if you watched it. I most certainly enjoyed it, and I watched it with my parents. Daisy Ridley plays Trudy, the sort of titled character, and I thought she did a good job. I was kind of curious to see what her American accent would sound like, and it sounds okay. Like it's as you would imagine her American accent to possibly sound like, but it also there's one line where I think where I can kind of hear her British accent. Not that she broke the accent, not that she lost it, like some people say Hugh Jackman did in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Not something like that where she lost it, but I think I could hear her. She was speaking at a more excited level based on what she did in the story. She was speaking a bit more excitedly than any of her other lines in the film, so I feel like that's where her accent sort of creeps back in. But I think she did good. And I think everyone, in fact, did good. The mother is quite awesome. My mother's birthday is actually September 2nd, which is like this Monday. So shout out to my mom. And I think most moms have really do believe in their children, and you can tell that Judy's mom was most certainly one of those people. I liked her relationship that she had with her sister Meg, and there was definitely some relatability to her story. It's very much a underdog story that I think resonates with people. It resonated with people 100 years ago, and it resonates with people now, and it's quite impressive what she managed to do within her, I want to say her 20s, which is neat. And yeah, I will say a complaint I do have is I feel like I heard one of my fellow YouTubers say that that there were like perhaps pacing issues that arose. I'm not quite sure what they mean. I feel like the beginning of the film, I feel like there's some rushing through some of her like early life stuff to get to her being a to getting her to being a in the channel, getting her to where she, we see her want to swim as a kid, being quite good at swimming, at least in local arenas, to being in the Olympics, to being in the English Channel. That all kind of, it feels like, at least, like that all happened within like the first hour of the movie, and then the rest of the film is quite understandably about her swimming. So I do feel like it's not a pacing problem, but it is most certainly, like, I think noticeable that they wanted to tell essentially the backstory to what she was doing, but like they didn't want to like linger on it too long, and like that's fine. But I don't know, it was just something that I noticed that probably isn't really that big of a deal. But yeah, I feel like I said, Daisy really did a good job. I feel like the director did a good job. And I feel like the cast is really well done. And despite some, like, I feel like, despite the fact that I feel like they were maybe in a bit of a rush to get to the most famous part of this story, it's still a really entertaining film. And if you know me, that's what matters to me, is this film entertaining? Will it entertain you? Will it entertain me? Or did it entertain me? And ultimately, I can say that it did. I found it quite entertaining, and I feel like that's the mark of at least a good film, is whether or not it is entertaining. And yeah, it's not trying to break the mold. You're not going to be surprised, I think, by most things in this film. Although I would be very, very interested to sort of know, like, what things were dramatized, because obviously it's a based on a true story. But like, I would be very interested to know what was dramatized, what wasn't, stuff like that. But other than that, it's a pretty solid film that I think you will be entertained by. So if you want to have a family movie night this weekend, this is highly recommended. So remember that God made you special. He loves you very much. I hope you have a very lovely day. Hope you have a very lovely week. It was nice to like right now record a video that I know is coming out tomorrow, that I'm not pre-scheduling this for like next week. That's kind of nice. That being said, as always, God bless y'all and have a nice day.